Welcome everybody, Apothecary Diaries. Let's go. Whoa!
Just running in
They
there.
they blew their wads, so they would have to reload.
Yeah, I guess so. What do you mean you were tricked?
Shisho. Right? Yeah, he's gonna take responsibility.
Yeah, what's this vibe with the gun?
金軍が来ているっていうのは分かっていますよ。もうろくしたか、火種もないのに。
Oh shit!
He just blocked. Oh, he shot his own man.
戯れで獣を撃っていたではないか。
Jinshi just blocked a bullet with his sword.
ズーズーしていたのに。俺は言ってない。火種もないのに。最初火種がなくても発砲できる。実際に襲われたからな。あれは惜しかった。あなたき仕留めていれば。惜しいことをした。
He's acting like it was all his fucking plan.
もう少し時間があればな。いや、なんだ。まるで用意されたセリフを読んでいるよ。
And then get killed.
She looked so pretty when she was young.
She wasn't so bitter. Are they in the room in the back?
Oh, they're gonna be like stuffed in the closet, maybe?
Secret way out.
ごきげんよう、月の君。便宜上、jinshi様と呼ばせていただきますね。ついてきてはいただけないでしょうか。断ると言ったら。だから、脅しているのです。本当におとなしくついてきてくれるのですね。こちらです。水霊姉様、もうひどいことはされていませんか。これが水霊。もうそそのかし、死体になりすまして逃亡。を装って戻ってきた。大胆な女だと。ローラン、まさかその男は。ママの望みを叶えるためについてきてもらいました。ずっと憎んでいたのでしょ。この姿によく似たお方。自分よりずっといいことに嫉妬していたのです。それとも自分よりずっと幼い次女を選んだからです。上級妃であったお母様のネアに一度も来なかったの。ローラン、少し冗談が過ぎましたね。本望を遂げる前に一つ余興をいたしましょうか。今日の前の話です。先帝は母親に逆らえぬ暗愚な皇帝でした。実質的な最高権力者で陰で女帝と呼ばれていました。女に興味を見せる息子にしびれを切らし、高級にどんどん美女を送り込みました。
シェンメイ、高級に入るって。
ええ、上級妃としてぜひにと。
君はいずれ私と。
その話はわからないに。これは高貴なのよ。高級でこうなせば皇后の座も夢ではないわ。
うちの両親の妻で終わってたのですか。
Yeah.
シェンメイ、
息子の上級妃として取り立てたい手向きの話だったのです。
表向き？何を言っているの、ローラン。壊れて。
お母様はそのつもりだった。
They wanted someone who was actually really beautiful and
おじいさん漏らしていましたよ。娘を人質に取られては何もできぬと。
人質
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's like a Sansa Stark.
お父様がお母様のことを一度しかし思いもよらないことが起こります。先帝の性癖です。jinshi様、大きくなった理由をご存知ですか？
師匠が女帝をそそのかしたと話に聞く。
ええ、新しい公共事業として高級の拡大を提言したそうです。
Oh my god.
奴隷交易。
もう知らないようですね。おじい様が何をやって女帝に目をつけられたのか。
だが当時奴隷制度は認められていた。
使いだと聞きました。しかし他国に売られた奴隷はその限りではありません。女帝は奴隷交易を禁じたのです。娘を人質に取られた死の一族が奴隷交易を縮小せざるを得ませんでした。
I
That's
see.
they wanted her.
困りはお父様が進言したそうです。
残った奴隷たちの行く先としてはいかがですか。若い娘は下女や女官に、男は宦官として入れるのです。高級拡大は女に興味を持たれる市場のためになるといえば、
あの時逃げ出していればよかったのに。
Oh.
But she didn't go.
作ったシェンメイ、なんか君が望むなら一緒に逃げよう。
高級からの逃走は重罪よ。
た時点で重罪だ。私は君を諦められなかった。今に迎えることもできずに、また会いたいとここまで。
いいの？私で。
もちろんだ。さあ。
あの方が次女の逮捕された状況。
アンシ様より先に受断したのにね。
通いがないみたいよ。ふざけないで。恥をかいたまま逃げろというの。
違う。
帰れ。
自分の地位を捨てて逃げようと男は
She fumbled for real.
あんな男など信用できるわけがないだろう。すぐに家督を継ぎ、この女の母親などめとった男を。
姉様、失礼します。
それは法のかんざし。
お母様もご存知でしょ。これを身につけられる者はキリンの一生と同じく引くもの。
嘘よ。先帝は認めていなかったはず。
先帝は罪悪感をお持ちだったようです。カゴのことが心配でたびたびお父様の手を出していたそうですよ。否定したけれど。
嘘よ。先帝は認めていなかったはず。
先帝は罪悪感をお持ちだったようです。から追い出した赤子のことが心配でたびたびお父様を出していたそうですよ。一度は否定したけれど愛していた。それで独り身のお父様に言ったのです。
私の娘を見てほしい。
お父様はお母様の次女と先帝の間に迎えました。やがて二人の間には子が生まれました。
シスイと名付けました。
シスイ、死の一族にふさわしい名だ。
主上、お望みを叶えてくださると。でしたら、上級妃のシェンメイを可視していただけませんか。
冠した孫を見て先帝は安心され、もう人質を取る必要はないと、こうして可視されたのですよ。
先帝は愚かな男だ。のみが師匠や自分の胸にどれだけ影響するかも分かっていなかった。
嘘よ、嘘よ。恨みを言わないで。
でたらめですか。ずっとお父様はお母様のためにやって破滅しかない最後だと分かっていたのに。ここにjinshi様がいる理由もわからないのです。お父様の最後はいかがでしたか。
笑いながら言ったよ。
あの男は自分の権力が欲しかっただけ。私をめとったのも。
I don't think I've ever seen a bigger fool in my life than this
Yeah.
fucking woman. He literally did all of this for you.
Yeah, he didn't do.
He didn't want to. Did he even want to rebel? He didn't want to. You didn't do it. She wanted power.
国庫の横領の話か。
賄賂や横領
He just wanted her.
苦言を呈するまともなもの残るは海ばかり。自ら国賊を演じることで死の一族の海もろともするつもりだったのです。人種様、タヌキと呼ばれていましたけど、タヌキって本当は臆病な生き物なのです。懸命に相手を化かそうとするんです。
話が本当ならば、高級の拡張と国庫の横領は分けて考える。師匠は国の腐敗を一手に集める必要悪を演じていた。
ちゃんとお父様は敵役を演じきれましたか？
事実だという証拠はあるのか？
宮廷内に溜まった海はこれでだいぶ処分で。
うまくいく確証はあったのか？
うまくいかなければそのまま首を取ってしまえばいいのです。それで傾く国。
お前はあの男と一緒にずっと私を騙していたのか。
私はお母様の言う通りにやってきただけです。
She's
こんな
crazy.
国など売っていたではないですか。一人を囲って金軍に勝てると本当に思っていたのですか。
ほら、そのためにこれを作らせたのでは
It's
ない
not
か。
even
お
loaded.
母様の手には返してください。
I bet it's not loaded.
何がおかしい。
だってお母さんまるで小物なんですもの。
Or is it? Oh shit.
銃声。
The fuck is the prince?
私は悪い娘ですね。
She overloaded
Oh my
it.
god.
She overloaded it.
中に詰め物をし
新
Damn.
型が複雑なんです。人種様はあの時奪おうとは思わない。隙を見ればいくらでも奪えたでしょう。
Hmm.
伝えたいことがあったんだろう。
顔だけのバカなら本当に良かったのに。お父様が死んだんですよ。涙も一つくらいこぼしてください。お母様を待ち続けていたんですよ。涙をこぼしてくれたら私だってこんなこと。
もっと違う方法はなかった。
あったかもしれません。でも私たちをそれほど
Oh my
賢くも
god.
Loulan is crazy, dude. She fucking cooked on this.
したかった。シェンメイのために何でもしたが、同時に国のことも見捨てられない中心だった。
人種様、贅沢を言うようですが、2つ願いを聞いていただけますか。
なんだ。
ありがとうございます。ではこれを。本当はそれをネタに命乞いするつもり。うまくいきませんでしたね。そこに書いてある今後この国に起こりうることです。一族でまともな思考の者は母に追放され名を捨てております。同じようなものです。その者たちは一度死んだ者として見逃していただけません。で
Hmm.
努力する。
は一度死んだ者は見逃してくださるのですね。ありがとうございます。
あと一つは。
ではもう一つの願いを。
Scratch up his face.
ありがとうございます。お母様、これが私にできる精一杯なんです。
Wow.
私もお父様以上の役者になれるかしら。
止めればよかっただろうか。いや、できなかった。
They're reloading.
一世一代をぶっ壊すことなんてできない。目をそらすこともできなかった。
Fall off the edge.
それがローランを見た最後だった。共に寝ていない。あの娘はどうした？
無事です。それより少しお休みになられた方が。
どこにいる？
Kid.
死んだ死の一族の子供たちです。
なぜこんなところで眠る？
どうしてもと頼み込まれたら何も言えないでしょう。
随分ひどい姿だな。
Because you're right, they're not dead. But they died already.
俺の顔に傷がついたことでケルナは分かっていた。それなのにローランの願いを受け入れてしまう。俺のことはいい。それでシドンがここにいなくて正解だったな。
全くです。
Got a little worked up.
何をやっているのでしょうか、ジンシ様。
Oh my god. Oh, this fucking guy.
俺は
What?
Is that what?
Wait, is it gonna be a fucking recap episode next time? Recap episode? No.
次回始まり。
What do you mean? God.
Wait, was that it?
Is that the final
Wait, was
episode?
that... Hang on.
Is
no!
that the last episode?
No, I think it said, No. No, I don't think so. Let's pretend it's not. Oh, wow. Well, Shisui's fucking dead.
What a... Wow.
Jesus Christ. Huge parlor room scene. Just absolutely deep diving on all this shit.
Yeah, wow.
So much political background to why all of this was happening the way it did.
Mm-hmm. And it was just like way more crazy. Like we kind of got bits and pieces throughout the story, but like it was like way more crazy. Like how their family was like conducting the slave trade, and then that was getting outlawed. So then
they needed assurances that there wouldn't be a rebellion if they put the bill through.
So then they took her as a hostage.
Decree.
But then they were like, oh well, we still have all these slaves and we need them to go somewhere. So let's expand the rear palace, and it's the perfect opportunity because the emperor that's in there right now isn't picking anyone, so we'll just like overload it with like hundreds of people. And yeah, it's actually interesting, and I feel like it does make a lot of sense that it used to be a lot smaller, because this is like a massive operation here to be running, you know, when there's like the 4 main concubines and then there's just like a bunch of like
there's
random
hundreds
ones
or thousands of people.
It's like you don't there's no real reason for there to be that many in reality, because especially when it's like the ones that are the 4 main ones are ones that are like the most like opportune matches and you know, have the most like political power usually.
It's a really interesting like moral thing, because like, oh, we free slaves. Well, it's really a whole system. It's like, it's the exact thing. If anybody watched Game of Thrones, like everybody, like you know, when it was coming out, everyone who was watching and in the show itself, they comment on the fact that like when Tyrion is in charge of Meereen and there's all the slave stuff going on, and then Daenerys wants to free all the slaves because she is, you know, trying to be a good person or whatever, and you know, yeah, free the slaves, but then what about all the slave masters? What about the entire economy? What about the entire culture that goes back years and years and years, and all the vested interests and all the people that are going to rebel when you take when you kind of take their property away the way they see it? You know, it's a fucked up thing, because obviously the right answer is just to free slavery and people shouldn't be slaves. And then also what happens to the people who were slaves and don't know how to live any other way because they had their lives taken from them. So it's like I just always think about that whenever, you know, a show's dealing with that with this kind of a problem, you know. And then they come to a similar kind of solution that like a lot of like that happens in Game of Thrones in this show, where they have like a Sansa Stark. They're like holding her hostage, shenmei, so that the most powerful side, the most powerful people in the North don't fucking rebel, when there's this big radical change. But
it was
yeah,
crazy
anyway.
the like slicing up Jinshi's face. So now
She has to get killed.
Well, and also because now his face is not the face of the previous emperor, because he has a scar that guy never did.
Yeah, that as well. But I think it's like, I think it's gonna, that mark is gonna serve a couple purposes. First of all, it's gonna make him look cool as shit because now he's got the scar on his face. But he's accepted a new identity. He's accepted his true identity.
Yeah,
so
and he's not
differentiating
just the
himself
beautiful
from
Jinshi. He is now the like a
he
prince.
Has a scar. Yeah,
and
he's
he
lived
went to
through
battle.
something earnestly, and he's gonna have to carry that with him. And he had to see this, and he, it's gonna be a very symbolic thing. I don't know how much longer the series is after this, but. This feels like we're probably like 75% of the way there. That's at least how it feels to me. But it could go on a lot longer, I guess. But anyway, yeah, it's dub. It's good. It's a very interesting thing there.
Yeah.
I thought Loulan was gonna have some other plan about how she was going to live, but she like kind of. It's like all these gears were turning without her, and she just turned all of them against themselves, like without even having to do very much. Like,
I like when she's talking to her mom, and she's just like, "You surround yourself with like these like
yes men,
these like just shitty guys that just agree with you, and you expect
to take
things
on
to
the
happen.
guard.
You expect to win when you're." Just with a bunch of guys that are like nodding their head, they're like a little bunch of little bobblehead guys, and like just like nobodies, and you think that this is your best, most effective way, and you're trying all this like underhand stuff.
Yeah, she's delusional.
Yeah,
she's delusional and greedy, and she shows whole story like very. A lot more interesting than him just being a buffoon, because that's what I thought he was. Yeah, I think that's what we were kind of like. The first level is that he's the mastermind when the whole party's going on, but I feel like a lot of people watching that, not just us who are looking into it a lot deeper, but like you could get the idea just from watching it that Shisho's not the real, especially with seeing the OPs where you see Shenmei.
Yeah.
I forget if you see your last OP. I don't think so. I think just this OP. But anyway. You see her in the OP before you hear about her. But my point is, you could kind of reasonably get the idea that he is not the real mastermind, that he's just a buffoon. But to know that he's not the real mastermind, but that he still is intelligent, and more intelligent than like that second step of he's just a, following along Shenmei. He actually is intelligent. He actually is savvy. But he is plagued with a yearning for this woman, and it's true love. Like, he truly, truly loves her. He spent his entire life. He got with another woman, not to cope with losing her, but to eventually bless the emperor with a grandchild that will have a different name and therefore not be in danger. And in order to bargain for his actual true love. That was like years later.
He literally also he was building the rear palace, expanding to like help with the family's
but to make himself useful.
But also so he could install this secret passage. That if they found out if literally anyone walked over there and was like, "Oh, what are you building? Oh, a secret passage?"
He'd be dead.
They would all be dead,
But he, like, it's so interesting. He truly
But he also knew that,
her.
that, like, all of this was, like, fucked at the same time, like, all this, like, that it was never gonna succeed, and it was just all, it was doomed to fail, and all the good people got, like, sent away and disowned and everything. Wow. is crazy.
It's like, it's so much, but my point is he's not just a buffoon. It's not just about Shenmei's the real mastermind. There really is something, like, meaningful in his story, despite the fact that he was kind of like a side character to the main kind of plot here. And he wasn't, you know, but, like, it's just very, very, very good. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
And poor, what the fuck is her name? Not Shisui. Suirei.
Suirei, yeah. Just terrible. But now, seemingly she gets to live. But
yeah, but, like, will she want to? Like, what's she gonna do? Her sister's dead. Her sister was, like, her savior, her, like, her only person. Is she gonna go back to the rear palace? I don't think they'd let her in there. Like,
yeah.
Even if they spare her, like, what are they gonna do? She has royal blood, I guess, and if that's proved, then maybe she could get a pass for that because she was, like, manipulated and all this stuff, but...
yeah.
I don't know.
Man. That was just a crazy episode. And the kids, I think you're right about the kids.
Listen, everybody keeps doubting me, and I keep listening to them. I think that's my problem, is I come up with a theory that's rock solid and has basis, and then a bunch of people are like, oh my god, he's coping. And then I'm like, oh my god, maybe I was coping. And then I get proven right, and I'm like, fuck you guys. But I think it's really my fault for listening to you.
I think the thing is, too, is I think, like, you know, it...
Like, they set up the resurrection drug all episode, and then they kill some kids at the end of the episode.
Well, I had thought originally, I was like, oh, well, if the kids even revive, like, they'll still have to kill them. So
but
what's the point?
After Loulan,
but not
she
after
made that
she made this deal.
And I think that's partially why I think that, like, she wanted to... I think that's partially why she sacrificed herself, so that there wouldn't be... I guess to prove her... conviction and all this, that it's not just another scheme. And maybe she's not alive. Like, I had that thought too. Like, she got shot, but she's wearing all these fabrics. Maybe she has ketchup packets under there. I don't know. But, like, there's blood coming down her arm, so it seems like she did get shot. She could live. There's the guy at the end who saw something glimmering in the bushes. So maybe she planned to jump off after getting shot into the bushes, and this is all part of another plan. She seems to be a total mastermind already. I had that thought while all this was going on. That to me seems less likely, but it's still possible. I could see that being the cliffhanger for the season, that, like, they both go off together. And she didn't know, obviously, maybe, but anyway, I could see that. But regardless, I think that whether she was playing dead or sacrificing herself, say she's sacrificing herself, she is. I think that she did that so that it would probably make them feel more okay with letting the kids live if they woke up. Like, because if Loulan goes through all this shit, this whole parlor room scene where she explains everything to Jinshi, and she's, like, putting it all out there in the open, and then she's like, it is what it is. I did what I could. I know there's, like, I don't expect anything in return. I did this, you know. Now all the rot is gathered in one place. I leave it up to you now, and to kind of prove my conviction that this isn't another trick, or that I'm not fucking with you, or that this is actually going to fix things. I'm gonna go up there and die, and I'm gonna scratch your face so that, like, I assaulted you now. So I'm like, it adds, like, another layer to it, so that it's not like, you know, I was a co-conspirator, but I was actually, like, a confidential informant. Oh wait, I scratched you, and now that's unequivocally I am an enemy. I go up there and die. So, and, you know, I think it just adds to the, like, will you let these kids live? Yes, anyone that has died, I will, like, died, quote unquote, I will let them live. And then the kids are gonna wake up and he's like, oh shit, that's what she meant. Wait a minute, what else was she hiding, type thing, and then maybe she'll come back to life. I don't know. I could see that. We don't know. Like, she knew everything. Like, you know, maybe she made some fucking body armor. Like, I would think that's not crazy, but even with the upgraded Feifa that they have, there's still, like, black powder flintlock pistols. Like, they still fire bullets, but they're, like, they're little like ball bearings, and if they're iron, or I'm pretty sure they'd be iron. They wouldn't be lead. Maybe they'd be lead. But if they're little iron bullets, then they compress under pressure, like under speed and pressure. They like flatten out. And so if you're wearing body armor, you can block something like that. If it's like a modern rifle or something, obviously you like even police body armor, like an assault rifle will like rip through it. But like a black powder BB, it's not a BB. It's a little bit bigger. Well, it's technically.
I guess.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I could see her living. I could see that being a part of a thing. I'm not as sure about it as I was when I said when I theorized.
I think like, I mean, I could see that, but I feel like it's just so much more impactful of her impact on the story if she like actually commits, actually dies, because what she cares about is the people that she's protecting by doing that, you know?
But I think it would be such a mic drop moment for her to not be to like with all this stuff with Maomao and her whole conversation with Maomao, but like she's like resigned to her death and whatever, and then she dies, and then she gets to live on as shisui with her sister, not because she wanted to live, but because she wants her sister to be happy. And then that like a look over the shoulder of like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. So she fell, and then blah blah blah, and then wait, and then it's like cut to them, the two of them like peeking over a cloak and then going into a tunnel and like leaving or something, or walking into the snowstorm. Like, and you don't know what happened to them. Some shit like that. Like, because the series is all about, like, mysteries and things being unsolved, or things being, like, things, like, knowing the truth, but then obscuring the truth, or, like, we know the truth, but the characters don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they kind of pull shit, like, Jinshi's entire storyline has been that kind of a thing, where, you know, there is a truth, there's a thing kind of swirling around, but, like, it's best not to live the full truth all the time. It's best to, like, live a functional version of reality. I don't know. I could see it.
I think what's also interesting about her, like, dying in that way to protect the children is it kind of goes back to her conversation that she talked about earlier with Maomao, when I think she said with Maomao, or when she was talking about the bugs. And she's just like,
I die in winter.
Yeah, like the mothers all die in winter, and only the children are left. And it's like, she never wanted to be a mother, but she still sacrifices herself for the children. So she's like especially after both of her parents has died, that would make her the head of her family and the head of all of this. So she's like the mother of her people, and then dies to save them.
To protect all these children. Well, I could, yes, like, that was clearly set up, like, her death is clearly set up by the story, and she set that up. But, like, with other things that she's done, and with the way that she's interacted with Maomao in the past, she'll leave breadcrumbs for people to find her. She chose the name Shisui when she was undercover. It's almost like she wants to be found. And so maybe she's saying things, like, in the theory that she's not actually dead, and that she, planned to live, like, I could see her saying all that stuff to Maomao. What the fuck does she have? Wait, she has 6 fingers on her other hand.
What?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's funny. I was like, wait a minute. Anyway, it's an animation thing, but anyway, what was I saying? It's like she leaves breadcrumbs for Maomao, or for people to find them. And it's because she wants people to understand her. She wants people to find her. And so maybe, like, her Loulan as a character saying all that stuff about, like, bugs dying in the winter and saving their children and all that shit that Maomao, like, kind of called her out on, all that kind of stuff. It was setting up for her knowing that she was going to die. Obviously, but it could also be set up for, because she was also saying, like, will you let the people who died live? And then she goes up and dies, so then maybe she can live. And maybe that's part of, maybe Jinshi even knew that, and he understood that. I don't know, you know. Like, it would add to the cover if, like, she's laying all these breadcrumbs out of, I'm gonna die. I'm dying. I'm sacrificing myself. I'm gonna die in the winter, and the children are gonna blah blah blah. And then everyone's like, "Oh my God, she's dead," because she knew she was going to die. She's such a crazy mastermind. And then she, that was all part of the plan. Like everybody believed she laid the breadcrumbs so that they would think that, so that she could get away. I think it's possible. Because it would kind of, well, it's two ways. Because her dad dies at the start of the episode and then she dies at the end. And her dad is like playing a character, taking responsibility for all this stuff. And then she does the same thing at the end. And you could say that, it's foreshadowing for her doing that, but maybe it's a setup. Him dying in that way and making that performance thematically is a setup for her to subvert that and then not follow through with that. I could see that, but if she's dead and she's just dead, it's still like it doesn't. I'm not saying the story is worse if she's dead. I'm saying that I think that she could be alive, and I think that it would add a lot to all of this if she chooses to live with her sister.
I also think
because if she planned all this, she could plan to live. If she planned all of this, she could plan to live. Sorry.
I do also think that's interesting that her mom, and her dad all kind of died, not by their own wish necessarily, because her mom didn't mean to kill herself, but they all kind of like died by their own hand. Like,
yeah.
Her mom did it on accident, but like she still basically shot herself.
Yes.
And that is so in line with her character of like trying to harm other people, but she's sabotaging herself the whole time because she's not she's not actually smart enough or to like be able to execute anything properly by herself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there you go, rule of threes too, because like the dad dies by his own hand, and then she dies by her own hand, and then Loulan at the end, she also died. Oh, but wait, it's the third, rule, you know what I'm saying? I could see it. The more I think about it, the more I believe it. But I'm not as like set on it as most of the other theories. I could see her being dead, but we'll see.
What a crazy episode. I wonder what that guy found in the bush at the end.
I think it's fucking Loulan. Where is he? Like this is the wall, right? That she was just on? He's looking over here. It's in this bush over here. It could be.
I thought it was in that bush.
Oh. Either way, she falls. Bing. I could see it. I mean, what is it? A hairpin?
I don't know. Man. What a crazy episode. I can't believe it. Like, I feel like I was so locked in.
I think there's only one more. One, maybe two. Unless, was this 23?
I think this was 23.
Oh my god, is it the fucking...
Is it the last one? I swear to fucking god.
There's one more.
Okay. Better not
On
just
July
be the
1st.
recap episode.
I bet some of it will have a lot of recap, but I hope that it's not all recap.
Wow.
Maybe that's why, maybe she's alive, and that's why it's a recap episode, so we could see her
plan.
showing all the foreshadowing, and then at the end, she's alive. That would be a crazy way to end off the season.
Wow.
Wow.
Maomao just like, Jinshi, I'm trying to sleep right now.
Who choked her?
I don't remember.
I can't remember who choked her. I forget if it was the guard guy, or if it was just Shenmei, or if it was Loulan. That doesn't make any sense.
Shenmei, maybe.
Or if it was, or was it the guard at Shenmei's order? I don't remember.
I can't remember, but she's in rough shape regardless. What a great episode.
Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys for the finale. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.